Yeah, so my name is Eugene, and I'm the founder of AISearchWatch.com. Today I'll be presenting on the future of search engine optimization in the age of AI-driven search. So what's AI-driven search? So let me share how leading companies are defining this new way of searching. So Google says we are unlocking entirely new types of questions, thought search could answer. We are transforming how information is organized. And other players have their own takes. So ChatGPT search highlights their speed, saying, get fast, timely answers with links to relevant web sources. And Perplexity AI focuses on conversations and saying it searches the internet to give you an accessible, conversational, and verifiable answer. So the key is that AI search is not just about finding information, it's about understanding what you are really asking for and giving you a complete answer that both makes sense and supported by references to sources. I'll be sharing the presentation on LinkedIn if you need some data or links. So how big is AI-driven search right now? So let me share some numbers from my own analysis of data provided by SimilarWeb and based on the research from Zapier. So Google AI already is leading the pack, and Zapier team tested 10,000 keywords with Google and found that AI-generated answers that, as AI overviews shows, in up to 41% of all searches. So, but here's what's interesting, it really varies by topic. So for relationship advice, AI overview shows in up to 41% of searches. But for some topics like real estate, health-related queries, it's much more conservative and shows in less than 1% of search. And ChatGPT is making waves, so it's now can be considered the second most popular AI search tool with 4.4 of Google.com traffic compared to that. And also it grows an impressive 19 month-over-month, and in this October, ChatGPT actually surpassed Yahoo.com by visits for the first time. So also Brave Search, Perplexity AI, and others are growing excessively too. So based on these calculations, AI seems to be involved into almost a half of searches. And AI search is not just a trend, it's becoming a significant part of how people find information online, and it's growing pretty fast. So let's explore how AI search works. It started from the simple idea of summarizing search results using a large language model, but now it's more sophisticated. So the AI search approach follows a systematic workflow. Users begin with, by entering their search query. This can be a question, a phrase, or specific search term. Then the large language model pre-processes the initial query by rewriting it for optimal search performance, like basically writing a Google search query, potentially decomposing complex queries into multiple sub-queries, multiple search queries, and formatting questions into search queries to maximize accuracy. Then it makes the actual web search against one of the following indexes. It's either Bing, Google, or its own index, like in case of Perplexity AI. So then LLM analyzes sources and summarizes them into the final answer. It combines information from multiple sources, creates a coherent, comprehensive answer with references and links. And then the AI search engine optionally generates a set of follow-up questions which can help user to explore topic in great depth, dive into related areas of interest, or suggest other ways of asking about the original subject. So let's look at a real example. So that's a screenshot from Perplexity AI Pro. So when a user asks how adult food differs from puppy food, the AI pre-processing step decomposes the initial question into 3 distinct web searches. Differences between adult food and puppy food, so it covers general differences and basic comparisons. Then puppy food versus adult food, nutritional differences. So LLM understands that the source question is about food, so the search is focused specifically on nutritional aspects. And then why puppy food is different from adult food. So you see, the proper pre-processing step actually generates a new question, and this question explores the reason behind the differences. All right, so then it runs web search to get search results from web index, right? And how do AI select sources to read from? So the Zapier team compared sources in traditional search results in Google against sources referenced by Google AI Overview and found that the overlap between them ranges from 33% to 73%. And in my own observation, Perplexity may also reference up to 70% of the same sources as Google search. And while ChatGPT claims to be relying on Bing web index, Bing search engine, the list of their sources often differs in the same way. So they're not like 100% the same. So overall, this suggests that AI does value many of the same authoritative sources as traditional search engines, but they each employ unique algorithms and criteria for ranking sources. So if we look at the overlap in sources between AI search engines, that's a screenshot from AISearchWatch, it becomes even more interesting. So while individual AI engines may share up to 70% of sources with traditional search engines, they may share fewer sources with each other. So that limited overlap between AI engines appears significant for search engine strategy in the future. So from my own observation, some AI searches tend to rely on just one of three highly authoritative sources for the whole response. So that's actually kind of like similar how humans may select sources. Like if you're searching for puppy food, you might just check a few websites of popular known brands instead of checking all the websites from search results. So this is just an opportunity in the content strategy for brands to create highly authoritative and comprehensive content that AI is more likely to use. So LLM is LLM part, right? Is that smart assistant that basically reviews and summarizes and reviews sources. And AI responses from AI search engine may rely mostly or even solely on large language model for some sources. So you see the first screenshot, ChatGPT. So ChatGPT was asked without web search enabled, and the second search that was the search was how adult food differs from puppy food. So the answer is mostly the same, but it just injected few data from two websites of known brands for puppy food. And then the third screenshot is from Perplexity AI. So it's answering without referencing any sources, right? So it can mostly rely on LLM for some answers, and probably will be shifting to that. All right, so where does these large language models get their knowledge? So let's check data sets that was used by OpenAI ChatGPT-3, which was published in the paper, which was groundbreaking in the market at the beginning of the LLM revolution. So the trained data for GPT-3 came from several major sources. The first one is Common Crawl. That's the largest source, comprising 60% for training data for GPT-3. And it's actually a massive monthly updated snapshot of the whole internet. It contains over 400 billion tokens of data, which is equal to about 6 million books. Then it WebText2 dataset, which made 22% of the trained data for GPT-3. And WebText2 dataset is based on crawling the links that were upvoted on Reddit during 15 years. And additional sources, yeah, books and Wikipedia. All right, so few words about that largest dataset, which is called Common Crawl. So it's a California-based nonprofit organization that collects and indexes data from across the internet, providing monthly dataset updates. So if you're a website owner or a developer, you can search inside this dataset by going into index.commoncrawl.org. So on that page, you can search for your website. You can enter that, enter URL pattern, and you can get the links to specific snapshot that you can download and add that to data.commoncrawl.org and download that file, and then just basically check what is inside and compare that probably to robots.txt that was also captured from your website at this point. All right, so speaking about GPT-3 and later versions, books were explicitly excluded later, according to OpenAI statements. And in last years, OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, expanded their training sources by establishing partnerships with a lot of major publishers like News Corp, Alex Springer, Time, The Atlantic, and so on, and popular online platforms like Reddit, Stagger, others. So this strategic combination serves two purposes for training LLM models, as I understand that. So it maintains the broad coverage from public websites while also tries to incorporate high-quality verified information from trusted partners. So search results, large language models, and then finally your website is one of the sources for answers from AI search engine. So content from websites, both search engine crawlers and AI training datasets, and crawlers that are run by search engines like Perplexity. So to optimize content for AI search engines, let's explore the key strategies that were recently recommended by Fabrice Channel, Principal Product Manager at Bing. And as you remember, Bing is used by ChatGPT. So in turn, first is to use intent-based content to focus on the intent behind the search query and focus on understanding and addressing the underlying purpose of search queries. So for example, when someone searches for eco-friendly coffee makers, you need to create content that guides them through the selection process. And like saying like how to choose eco-friendly coffee makers, right? And then address the why behind the search, not just the what, and make how to choose eco-friendly coffee makers guide for, yeah. So, and then to use long tail keywords to capture that intention more accurately, but probably you need to capture all the like, so you can like write best eco-friendly smart coffee machines for busy professionals and for others, like for every small audience or, then you can use conversational keywords to mimic natural speech patterns in question. This is also important for voice search, which accounts for about 20% of all searches. And then you can use semantic keywords to help AI to understand related terms and phrases like sustainable brewing, green coffee machines in this example. And also question keywords which are framed as questions. So like how to find the best eco-friendly coffee machine. That can also help to AI to align your content with specific question that was asked by user. So also you can add frequently asked questions, or people also ask sections in the web page, which works great for AI. So, and let's look at technical search engine optimization, technical side of that. So the first thing is, yeah, to review robots.txt, which basically that sets the rules for crawlers, where to go, where not to go. So here's a screenshot from wallstreetjournal.com that disallows access for AI crawlers like Command Crawl, Dataset, Anthropic, and all the others. But it's crucial to understand that these rules are essentially voluntary. So several AI companies and their bots have been observed to disregard this file. So while robots.txt file remains the important technical standard, it shouldn't be your only line of defense if you need to hide information from AI. So next thing is to improve accessibility for web crawlers. So there are two key technical aspects to consider. So first is server-side rendering is vital for indexing, because dynamic JavaScript content significantly slows down indexing and requires resources up to 9 times. So instead of being indexed in like 2 days, you can get indexed in like 2 weeks. And if these AI companies are running their own crawlers, they are less sophisticated. So it takes 9 times more time to index that by Google. But if we're talking about some crawler from some AI engine, so that's can take them forever to index your page. So structured data inside the pages, which is also known as semantic JSON. So JSON LD, linked data, also known as structured data, or probably you know that that was like rich snippets or something like that. All right, so let's dig into this JSON LD. It's also called a semantic JSON. So as I see that from my experience, so almost all top performance search, all top performing links, links that are first referenced by AI, they almost always have that semantic structured data inside. So here's the screenshot for the query, how to drink water, right? So if you don't know how to drink water, you can search for that. All right, so and major commercial content management systems like Webflow, WordPress, they provide support for JSON LD out of the box or via some plugins. So on this screenshot, you can see that page, and you see that, so this website was referenced, was used as a first reference by AI, but it was also referenced as a featured snippet, right? So it helps in both ways. And the most common semantic JSON structures are web page for general web page, article for blog post, how to guide, QA page for question answer page, frequently asked question page, event, review, product, and there are many others. So here's the screenshot of the code of this page. So you can see there are a few, not just one, but a set of structured data inside. So first, it clearly defines the page type. So it says that this is how-to page type. It includes step-by-step instruction in a structured format. So crawlers basically don't need to parse the whole page. They can just look at that structured data and load that. And so it also can help them to understand what this page is about faster. So the key advantage is basically, yes, that search engine crawlers can efficiently parse and understand the page content in a structured way, not need to execute JavaScript or like render that. So this leads to better index and potential improved and faster search visibility, right? So as for the tools, so you can actually explore the types of the structures at schema.org. You can create the structures with your CMS, or you can basically use ChatGPT. Here's a screenshot from GPT store, so you can actually type JSON LD, and you'll find a lot of GPTs that are helping you with that. And then you can validate how it's implemented, or you can test some website. You can either just go into source code and search for schema.org, or you can use Google Rich Results Test or a schema markup validator to validate and see all the structures that were used. All right, so, and finally, the future of search engine optimization, right? So what's expecting us in the future, in my opinion, in my humble opinion? So the search engine landscape is shifting in two parallel directions. So traditional search engines, like Google, Bing, will continue to provide search and ranking data for their own AIs and for the third-party AI search engines. And at the same time, some AI search companies like Perplexity AI will be building their own indexes, but others probably may not want to do that because of the required infrastructure to run and all the spending is required. So they will be probably just relying on Google and Bing. So this creates a kind of like hybrid ecosystem rather than complete replacement of existing systems. So, and then technical accessibility requirements. So success in AI search demands three core technical elements. So first, optimized page speed performance. That's a must. Today, anyway, without AI search. Then integrated structured data implementation for websites and your online content, maybe like for your documentation subdomain and everywhere, basically. And then server-side rendering of the content for faster indexing by bots, especially if you are running like some dynamic JavaScript app, that's crucial. And I see that many of them just injecting that structured data into JavaScript, so it can be easily parsed and seen by web crawlers. And then finally, Gartner and many others, they predict a zero-click impact. So basically, that prediction is that there will be a significant shift in traffic patterns because AI provides answers and search results right away. Users don't need to go to some websites. So users and younger generations are also shifting their preference towards AI instead of using just Google or like all the way. So overall rise of hybrid search experience that will be combining traditional search and AI-powered chat. But that will mean less organic traffic for websites and more spending on running ads. So, and as for the content, so content will be growing, the focus on question, answer formats and conversational things and comprehensive guides, like how to drink water, right, step by step, all right. And the content creation side for marketers is actually already shifting to AI human hybrid approach where AI manages research and data analysis and content optimization, but humans drive strategy direction, creativity, and adding emotions into content. So the key here is not to abandon your existing strategies, but to enhance them for AI-first world and be prepared for that. So let me show the demo. All right. So AI search was basically asking all the different AI search engines the specific question that you defined, like list all alternatives to Y Combinator, right? And it checks what are the trends between different data points, provides you the summary, so you can read the summary, like positive mentions and things like that. Then you can see which organizations were mentioned, right? And which organizations have more influence to this type of answers to that specific question, right? You can filter them by specific AI search engine. right? And you can actually export them to CSV for use in your content strategy or somewhere. And you can explore which were organizations mentioned in visual way, which products were mentioned, right? Which keywords were used, right? In answer, so you can target these keywords specifically, which places were used. And yeah, and you can, what's probably the most valuable thing is that you can see which sources were used for answering, which sources were referenced by AI, and you can see which sources are more influential than others, right? All right, here's another report. So basically you can ask any question. So you can, yeah. So here's like, who are the top LinkedIn influencers in the world? All right, so here's the persons, and you can see, actually you can see trends, right? So this person is pretty stable, this person is rising in mentions, and you can see them, how they are, in which order they are mentioned, right? It also matters, like who's mentioned first. All right, so here, how it works, and also the next version will be having some tools for influencing these sources, for generating content based on keywords, and yeah, basically to implement that strategy to improve your brand appearance inside AI search engine. Basic value is that instead of going manually for and asking each AI search engine and then like trying to analyze them, like gather links, and you can just use that, right? So that's a basic value. And another value is that you can use that for like to ponder about your strategy, like how do you want to your market strategy to go in the future, right? So basically like on strategic level. And I said, actually, the new version will feature some specific tools, like you have some source, which is like very influential, right? Like, so you have that page, and there will be tools like to mirror that page, like, so you can drive traffic to your website, right? Or your one of your websites. So there will be tools in next versions that will be like helping you to implement that strategy, not just to ponder that, to think about that. There is no API. The previous startup I worked on API, right? So I know how it's hard to sell to developers. So it's its own thing. Yeah, so definitely there will be API. So currently we're aggregating data, right? So there will be data aggregated for popular brands, and then yeah, definitely there will be API to leverage that data to do your custom queries about that. Basically the way like all these tools like SEMrush or others, they're doing like building their database, right?